The day after I woke up and told my wife, why did I do that? I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on.
I remember one thing very clearly. That phase of my life was rough, no sugarcoating it. But believe me, at that age, I could have flattened that clown in round 1. Instead, I sold my soul, and I'm...
True that you made $170 million from this fight?
I made a lot of money, the most money I've made ever.
60 million households, Jake.
250 million people.
Bro, that is so
It's all downhill
crazy.
from here.
No, for sure.
I peaked.
How do you think the Jake Paul-Anthony Joshua fight plays out?
I don't know. I want to make sure. I believe it once I see him in the ring.
If Paul starts his boxing career earlier, could Jake Paul have been a champion?
So, is it even possible? Because the insane ending is already locked in. Mike Tyson didn't just drop Jake Paul, he blew up an entire illusion and quietly exposed the truth. He picked a script over real blood, and now boxing looks staged in a way it can't undo. Nah, this feels unreal. So rewind with me, because to understand how we ended up here, you have to accept one thing. This wasn't a real fight. It was a slow burn betrayal that finally cracked the moment a real heavyweight made contact with a celebrity, and everything people were pretending not to see came crashing down.
Y'all, the truth, I told y'all. They made Mike Tyson retract his statement on Twitter. They made him rewrite a post on top of deleting a post. Yeah, I told you that fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul was rigged. I told you that. I don't care what Mike Tyson is saying now. He have to do that to secure his money. He's still an investment for future exhibitions or...
I'm still side shot of Tyson watching Joshua absolutely dismantle Jake Paul. And let me tell you, that wasn't pride, that wasn't shock, it was pure recognition, laced with regret, the kind that crawls down your spine when you realize someone just did the thing you were supposed to stop. Every inch of Tyson's body knew it, and if you think that didn't hit him like a freight train, you're kidding yourself. Here's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to face. Tyson could have ended Jake Paul any time. Everyone in that arena knew it. Jake knew it too. And that's why Joshua's knockout lands so hard. It proves the ceiling was always fake, while the danger was very real. Once that truth slips out, no statement, no rewrite, no PR spin can put it back. The second Joshua dropped Paul in round 5, the timeline shattered. Every past fight suddenly looks different, heavier, and you could feel the audience rewinding in their heads, silently asking the question no one wants to say aloud. Why didn't Tyson do it? Why didn't he pull the trigger? Why did this feel different? And once that loop starts in your head, it doesn't stop.
Podcast one time, and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
He said, I'm only doing real fights. And of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
People keep calling this a mismatch, but that's way too soft a word. What we witnessed was exposure, gravity finally catching up after years of suspension. And Joshua, he didn't rush it, he hunted it, and that's what makes it terrifying. When a fighter this real takes his time, it's because he already knows the ending. And round by round, Jake could feel it pressing down on him. Then, the 6th round hit like a verdict. Not just the punch, the meaning. That right hand didn't just shatter a jaw, it shattered permission. Permission for this experiment to keep pretending it was real boxing. And the moment titanium plates enter the conversation, the laughs stop. Anyone still joking, they're either numb or lying. And Eddie Hearn's line about giving Jake his debut and AJ giving him his last fight, That wasn't hype, that was a closing statement. Promoters don't say stuff like that unless they know the door is actually slammed shut. And if you think Jake didn't hear that echo in his head staring at hospital lights, you're missing the real
image entirely.
Eddie, I want to follow with you because when this fight was first announced, you had said something to the effect of this would end Jake Paul's career. After what you saw tonight, do you think that Jake should continue to box, or what do you think the future holds for him?
Yeah, look, I really take my hat off. So, I mean, we have to see if it is a broken jaw. Those injuries are very difficult to come back from. But as AJ said, like that last shot would have knocked out a lot of heavyweights. And I know he went down heavy, but you know he was conscious on the floor. And I thought his game plan, although obviously very negative early on, which it had to be,
now,
was,
back to Tyson,
was smart at times. And there were times where he held his feet and let his hands go. You know, it was a very one-sided fight. It was always going to be.
Watching Joshua dismantle him is a harsh reminder. One guy sticks to the script, the other tears it apart. And history only remembers the bold move, no matter how fat the paycheck was. Call it conspiracy all you want, but Tyson himself admitted he doesn't even remember the fight and woke up wondering why he did it. That's not a satisfied champ talking. That's a man who knows he left something sacred in the ring. And that kind of regret, it doesn't fade. It only grows louder. Let me spell it out. Joshua didn't need to say a word. His fists did all the talking. And the silence? That silence screamed the truth. Every fighter watching this right now felt it in their gut, whether they admit it or not.
Pain? Yeah, but it's not from like talking.
Talk to me about what your jaw feels like, because you got
it's like a baseball in there.
two plates?
It just feels like
4 titanium plates.
4 titanium plates. How many do you have?
Just 1.
There's a darker truth no one wants to touch because it threatens the whole business. If a single real heavyweight can wipe out years of hype in 6 rounds, how shaky was this whole scene the entire time? And if that thought makes you uneasy, good. Someone, somewhere, is scrambling behind the scenes right now.
I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little. Listen, know what I remember? Coming back from the first round, and then the next day I remember Jake is doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
Oh, yeah, a little bow at the end. He bowed.
And that's the last thing I remember. You know, but the day after the fight, the day after, I woke up and told my wife, why did I do that? You know, I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on.
So, what did you think of Jake's power in there? Man, Tyson watching that broken jaw news had to sting, because biology doesn't lie, and marketing can't spin shattered bones. Seeing proof of what a real punch does forces you to face every moment you held back. And yeah, it's hard to believe, unless regret is already eating at him way worse than he's showing. Here's a ticking thought. If Tyson now admits money-steered outcomes, how many other fights are about to get re-examined by the public? Boxing survives on belief, and right now, that trust is bleeding fast. Another detail I can't shake, Joshua's calm. The guy didn't just fight, he executed a correction. Calm fighters are dangerous and honest. And this calm, it doesn't stop with one target. It spreads, reshaping everything in its path.
Just hoping after this Floyd fight, maybe we can have a rematch. He did well, but I want to try it again.
Is that something that you would be interested in terms of righting the wrong and knocking him out?
I would be interested. Yes, I would.
Knockout replay or a soundbite, because the sudden silence feels staged. And when things go quiet like this, it usually means deals are being rewritten and stories are being buried. I don't trust it, not for a second, because this situation is still unfolding and something uglier is on the horizon. When it finally breaks, it's going to make that knockout look like just a warning shot. What keeps replaying in my head is how inevitable this all felt in hindsight, like the sport itself got tired of pretending and snapped back into reality. For years, the line between spectacle and competition was stretched so thin, it was begging to break, and Joshua just happened to be standing there when it finally did. I keep thinking about how confidence slowly tips into arrogance without anyone noticing the moment it crosses over. That's what doomed this whole thing. Not the ambition, not the money, but the belief that reality could be negotiated if you talked loud enough and built a big enough audience. Watching a narrative collapse live is unsettling because it exposes how much of what fans consume is trust-based. Once that trust cracks, you start questioning everything you cheered for, how much was real and how much was carefully padded to protect an outcome. Joshua didn't just win a fight, he reintroduced consequences, and people aren't fully processing that yet, because consequences don't trend, but they linger, long after cameras cut and tweets die. The image I can't shake is preparation versus promotion. One happens in silence, the other needs noise. And when they collide, silence always wins. Not with drama, not with a bang, just decisively, like gravity reminding you it was never impressed by hype. What really gets me is how normalized it became to treat fighters like plot devices, instead of humans with decades of experience and instincts forged in pain. Because once you reduce them to storylines, you forget they can end your night with one clean decision. Even legends aren't immune, Tyson included, showing just how strong the machinery of spectacle and money has become, and how hard it is to step outside once you're inside. Seeing this moment where the loudest voices go quiet and the quiet professionals are left standing with credibility is rare. Every replay of that knockout feels heavier, not because of the punch, but because of what it represents. A hard line between levels. A reminder that experience isn't just time served, it's damage endured and lessons learned the hard way. There's irony in how chasing legitimacy sped up the loss of illusion. Real competition doesn't care about branding or convenience. Fighters watching that bout probably felt relief that the sport defended itself, and fear that the spotlight could turn on them if they misjudged confidence versus competence. Fallout matters more than the fight. Careers pivot, managers rethink, matchmaking shifts, and fans recalibrate what they believe the next time a big promise is made. Joshua didn't rush to prove anything. He waited for the opening that would inevitably come. That patience, learned after years of punishment for impatience, made the moment surgical, not chaotic. It left no one to blame but themselves. The sport needed this, even if it didn't want it. Without reality checks, boxing drifts too far into theater, and theater without risk is empty, no matter how flashy. A quiet reckoning is underway, not just for one fighter, but for an entire approach to selling fights. Fans still love spectacle, but they just got reminded how much they respect authenticity when it finally shows up. This could change how crossover is talked about. True crossover means mutual respect, not borrowing credibility without earning it. The psychological impact may outlast the physical, because once doubt creeps in at this level, it doesn't leave. What lingers most is how fast admiration flips to scrutiny once the shield drops. The same crowd that bought into the dream will dissect it mercilessly when it fails. There's no neat ending, no tidy moral, just a sense that something shifted and hasn't settled, like tectonic plates after an earthquake, with aftershocks still coming. And the most unsettling part? This isn't the final chapter. Once a sport exposes a fault line this clearly, the next break could be louder, messier, and far less forgiving than the last.